Vamos a empezar primero con el B-Beauty Coalition y para eso le doy la bienvenida a Genevieve Lawrence, Director of Sustainability and Impact, MaCher. Y Sonia Ziveri, Davines, Chief Sustainability Officer. Wait. ¿Si me pueden cambiar la presentación? Thank you for being here today. I know you flew from very far away, Australia and Italy. So, to start, we want you to introduce a bit about the B-Beauty Coalition, how it began, and what's the objective of the B-Beauty Coalition.
May I start? Hi, everybody. May I say something personally first?
Of course.
It's my first time for a meeting in Transformar, even if I've been attending since Davines decided to be a B Corp since 2015, many B Corp events all over the world. And I have to say that this event is amazing in terms of passion, energy, content, and focus that all of us, all of you are delivering. Thank you so much for this. Davines is a cosmetic company founded in 1983 from Bollati family. This company is totally dedicated to the professional market with two different brands, Davines for hairdresser and Comfort Zone for beauticians. We conceive, we research our product and then we deliver all over the world from Parma in Italy, where I'm from. And we were asking ourselves, how can we be more and more sustainable? So the question was mainly due to ingredients that we use in our products. It was due to packaging that we use. It was how can we ship our products all over the world being sustainable? And these questions were at the basis of the first steps of this coalition. That is a deep basis in the interdependence concept. All of us, being B Corp, when we get certified, we are required to sign a declaration, the Interdependence Declaration, that for us was not a formal act. It was a deep mission to advocate for the B Corp movement. And so in 2019 in Amsterdam, during a B Corp summit, we were meeting with other people, together with our former CEO, Paolo Bragrussi, who had a long experience all over the world in Davines and in Italy with a previous experience in the professional market. And so we were asking and talking with a person from Rituals that at that moment was even not deciding or was evaluating, let's say, to be part of the movement. And we were asking ourselves, what can we do to be more impactful? Why don't we join our forces to be more impactful? And so the idea of creating something together came out at this period. Then we had the pandemic, and then we didn't have the chance to meet each other as we would have liked. But it created an opportunity to meet with other companies digitally. So we started with 7 companies that were based in different areas of Italy and Europe and also USA. We started with getting in contact with Darcy from Dr. Bronner's. I don't know if you know, it's an amazing B Corp company based in California. And then Erba Tint in Italy, NMB in Italy, Expansions in France, And then later also two B Corps from Scandinavia, Skandinavisk Ergodolf Care. And the seven of us, we tried to think on what to do and how to conceive the coalition in terms of how can we have a stronger impact. We get in contact also with Kim Kompondas. I'm sure I mispronunciate her name. She is from Bilab, US. And she was also one of the founders of the Sustainable Apparel Coalition. And she gave us very good advices on how not to lose time in searching for a solution, how to structure the coalition and so on. And she also told us that there were many B Corps company belonging to the cosmetic industry that from US, from Canada, but also globally were interested to join the coalition. And so we start to embrace more and more company, and then was the time when we get in contact with the Genevieve and MaCher, based in the US, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jen? So what are the biggest challenges of being in a global coalition? Can you tell us a bit more about what the Be Beauty Coalition does?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're coming together. We have these 7 founding members, and sorry that my Spanish is not good enough to be able to present in Spanish today, and hopefully you can bear with my Australian accent. So we came together, and there was 7 founding members, and then they opened it up. They set 2 years time working on this governance for the coalition to come together, and they opened it up and said, who wants to join? And there was an influx of 25 companies that said yes, put their hand up like, I'm in and I want to be part of this. And from that point, it expanded to now over 70 companies that we have certified B Corps who are both suppliers and brands in the beauty industry, skincare, hair care, makeup, those types of things that are included, and their supply chain, their value chain as well. And so what we had was this governance and vision that was crafted very carefully and very well thought out by the 7 founding members. But as we grew, we also had to grow that shared vision, and we had to make sure that it was inclusive. We're now a global coalition. We're not just representing the US and Europe. So we all know that we have local and regional issues, but what is the shared vision that we want to bring to this coalition that we want to act on? So some of the main themes that we've pulled out is decarbonisation. What are the actions that we can take to decarbonise the beauty industry, and how can we share those openly and freely? Plastics in packaging, that's a huge issue in the beauty industry. How can we minimise plastics in the industry? What are other solutions that are available? What have we tested? Refillables, for example. Who's working on that? Who's learnt things, practices from that experience, and what can they share with the coalition? Or who wants to collaborate and solve this problem together? And then ingredients. This is a really critical one, and I know Davines are very passionate about this. Responsible sourcing, and then regenerative agriculture around ingredients. And so what actions can we take together as a coalition to tackle these issues and have this vision that's shared? And while we're doing that, we really need to consider having this inclusive platform, and that's been hard for us to make sure that everyone can have a voice. So we started to implement processes around voting. So we put forward actions that we want to take, and then we ask for each company, they hold 1 vote. So it doesn't matter what size you are, you all hold 1 vote, and you vote on the action that you want to take. We have these working groups who are dedicated for creating the outcomes for the actions. So one of the things that we need to be careful of in this is action for the sake of action. We really want to be specific about the outcomes that we want to achieve. And while we want to be ambitious, we also need to be realistic. This is a volunteer coalition. Everyone's volunteering their time, and they have competing priorities within their own business. And so we need to be specific about the outcomes that we can achieve, the timeline. And these working group chairs, they're responsible for proposing and setting forth the outcomes and the timeline, and then delivering that through the governance system that we've set up, so that there's an advisory board and then a steering committee and then these working groups. And then the final thing I think that's really important and has been a challenge and that we're working through is building community. Again, we're global. This fly really loves me right now. Must have sensed that I was Australian. So we're trying to build community across this coalition that's global, and we can't always be together at the same time and in person. And what we try to do is create these moments where we can get together. And Davines had this really brilliant idea, I think it was last year, and they said, we're going on a tour of the US and we're bringing our whole sustainability team with us. And we're going to see suppliers who we're a supplier to Davines, but we're also going to see other members of the Beauty Coalition. While we're peers, and we're also competitors. This is a very strange space, right? We're horizontal collaborators, and we need to build this trust with each other. And to do that, we have to humanize this process. And to do that, we like to call it at MaCher is wasting time together. We get to know each other beyond our work. We get to know each other on a very human level. And so Davines did this tour, and I think it allowed their team to come and get to know people on a very human level. And they went around the US and they came into our office, and our whole team got to meet the Davines team, and we hosted them for a day, and we shared what we were doing as a business, and they shared what they were doing, and we all had different questions. And then we grew this like greater relationship with each other, where we know that we can just call each other up and ask a question, and we've brought down some of those barriers that we've been told should exist in business, and we're starting to unlearn some of the things that we've been told and relearn how to collaborate together.
So you mentioned that the entire business industry is working together. How does it feel to work with a competition?
I think that I don't like, I don't like to speak about competition, because we are not competing one with each other. We are competing to a major goal, of course. And again, thinking about interdependence, if we think to global issues like climate change, global pollution from ingredients or packaging or whatever it is, we could not think to be one against the other. We have to think on how to solve common issues and find a way together. And so I think that only together we may face solutions.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what are the biggest challenges of working on a global coalition? Can you tell us how people participate and how does that work?
Yeah, I think time, again, is one that we have to be careful of. We have to be really specific to the members, they're volunteers. We have to request time for each other. So we have to be specific about what we're contributing. We normally ask around 8 hours if you're in a leadership position per month to contribute. And so that's something specific that you can communicate back to your company. I think part of being a B Corp is that, you know, not only are we being certified and audited and verified for our actions, but I think part of our responsibility as a B Corp is to contribute to the community. And so we've all got this responsibility to give back to the community. The community gave so much to MaCher. We were certified in 2014. We had a lot of help and support. And it's our responsibility to give back and pay that forward. So one of the challenges, I think, is like recognizing that our time is part of our responsibility, and then we need to give that back into the coalition. And then again, I think that how do we build consensus? The previous speaker spoke about like you don't all need to agree, and that's right. You don't need to agree. We do need to build consensus, so we need to have systems that allow for people to have a voice in the coalition, particularly when we have 70 members who represent thousands of workers and thousands of minute issues and nuances, but how do we like come together and have consensus on where we're moving to?
Amazing. Anything else you would like to add, Sonia?
I would invite each of us here to think on global cooperations on any issue, because again, if we want to change the world, we have to do it together. Nobody of us can do it by himself or herself, so only collective action may move and change and improve for a better world. So think on what we can do together. Thanks.
Great message. Thank you.